club. Taylor and Ronan seemed to be very close. They got excited, hugged, kissed, and she grabbed his hand and went, "This video is going to get no reach, but I refuse to be silenced, and I refuse." Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, we're just going to do a roundup of headlines in the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds lawsuits. The first thing I want to play for you guys today is the video that I was looking for the other day on one of my videos when I was talking about the behind the scenes of that really awkward Ryan Reynolds, his mom, Brandon Sklenar press junket gone wrong video. Anyway, let's play it. A wonderful member of the community sent this over and sent Steph with the deets video on it. This is exactly what I was looking for. And it's also why I always say, I don't think Blake is the weeping willow or shrinking violet or whatever flower nature reference you want to make for her. I think her hands were right in it. I genuinely, if you've been watching my videos deep diving into Ryan Reynolds' Maximum Effort and Mountain, I really believe that this was meant to be this marketing combination of It Ends With Us, with Deadpool and Wolverine, was meant to be a way to really boost the profile of Maximum Effort. Anyway, here's the video.
Behind the scenes directing this promo. Remember this really awkward It Ends With Us promotion? You know, a promotion for a movie that was all about DV, but instead this promotion was all about Ryan Reynolds, his mom, asking really weird questions to Brandon Sklenar. And everyone was like, Ryan just has to insert himself. Like, this just shows like all the control he has over this. But you want to know who else was directing this skit? Let me show you. Well, looky there. Other than Blake, the fake Lively. Notice her matching shirt. I don't know why, but for some reason, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, and Brandon Sklenar all were wearing matching shirts. Not together, mind you, but maybe they had a plan to do another funny skit. Here's the thing. This movie is not like a rom-com. And the lead actress, who literally was the one in the movie that was front and center when it comes to DV, decided, in order to promote this movie, let's make it about my husband and his mom and them grilling Brandon Sklenar with these funny questions instead of mentioning anything about the movie and why the movie's important. And this promo was approved. They're like, oh, this is a great promotion for the movie. Let's criticize Justin Baldoni and throw him in the basement because he promoted the movie the way it should be promoted. You know.
All right, so that is the clip. I know there's someone that has a clip of Blake actually walking around directing everyone as well, but that is Blake directing people. I really believe she was more involved than a lot of people are giving her credit for. I know a lot of people think that Ryan's the mastermind in all of this. I think she is just involved. And I genuinely believe that being at home, having babies all these years was not really fulfilling for her. Honestly, I really believe she wants to be at the level of Ryan and Taylor. Next up is Taylor Swift. You guys have asked me to do deep dives into her. I am more than happy to do deep dives into her and her branding and marketing, the use of archetypes and psychology within her brand. I would absolutely love to do that. We've also talked about SEO manipulation from Taylor. She does it very well within her brand. It all started or became more evident with the going to a Jets game to suppress Taylor Swift Jets in the algorithm. But she is next up in regards to It Ends With Us, and she's starting to make the news. Not only because apparently she's not hanging out with Brittany Mahomes at all right now. I imagine they're being very careful about her image right now and who she's seen with. But also what we're seeing is Taylor Swift still close with Blake Lively, despite being dragged in a legal drama with Justin Baldoni. These are my thoughts, guys. You would not be my friend in private if you refuse to be my friend in public. If you won't be seen with me out in public, if you have sources coming out, which is the PR way of giving statements, if you have sources coming out saying that we're not friends anymore, or at the very least, you don't come out and squash those rumors, and you at the very least, your representative don't come out and say, hey, I'm not getting involved publicly. We are still friends, but, and that's all I'm going to say. Then you're not friends with me in public or in private. I honestly believe it is sketchier and shows the true intentions of someone. If they're like, I'll be your friend in private, but I'm not going to be your friend in public because, like, you're bad for my image and brand. So this says Taylor Swift, the billionaire pop star, had a spectacular 2024 as she toured the world for her Eras tour with her boyfriend, Travis Kelce's team, and Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So she had a lot going on. She had Eras tour, her boyfriend, the Super Bowl. Taylor Swift was not happy about getting dragged in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni legal drama, but she is still close friends with Lively. I'm telling you guys, if that was me, there's no way. However, it seems like the friendship between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively, Blake Lovely, has not been affected by it. According to US Weekly, the source adds, there's no truth that this has hurt their relationship. They're still close friends. But the billionaire pop star Taylor Swift and the famous Hollywood actress Blake Lively have not been spotted out in public since the controversy broke in December 2024. The interesting thing with Taylor, I don't know if you guys realized, but she was seen out with Ronan Farrow in around October, I believe. And if we look at the timeline in a couple months before, that's when the New York Times was starting to work on the article with Blake Lively. It seems like an interesting coincidence. In fact, maybe we'll have a look at that quick next. We're just going to touch on this today. I just think it's really interesting. And, being ADHD, I followed that little thread. But I just want to bring us back in time to November. I think it was end of October, November, that Taylor was seen with Ronan Farrow. And we'll also look at his response on Instagram to this. But the headlines were Taylor Swift's surprising new friendship. I don't think it was a new friendship with liberal journalist Ronan Farrow revealed. Who's Ronan Farrow? Taylor Swift's unlikely friendship with Ronan Farrow is getting the spotlight after they were spotted partying it up with famous pals in New York City this week. Taylor and Ronan, the son of Rosemary's Baby star Mia Farrow and disgraced filmmaker Woody Allen, joined the likes of Faith Hill and Estee Hong at the new members-only club Chez Margot on Tuesday night. An eyewitness told Page Six that the billionaire star 34 is very close with the Nepo baby 36 and that she greeted him warmly when he arrived at the club. Taylor and Ronan seemed to be very close. They got excited, hugged, kissed, and she grabbed his hand and went to the private room with the others, they said. According to the outlet, Taylor, Ronan's partner, Hammer Morgenstern, and their group hung out past midnight in their private room. Swift is also said to have met up with Ronan at Chez Margot earlier this month while reuniting with pal Zoe Kravitz. Ronan is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and contributing writer at The New Yorker, not to be confused with The New York Post, or what was the one that New York Post, I believe, that did the hit piece on Justin. He's a staunch liberal who has used his platform to call out abuses in Hollywood. From Harvey Weinstein to his own father, who was accused of misconduct by his adopted daughter. Words are apparently very hard today, guys. I'm sorry. By his adopted daughter, Dylan Farrow, back in 1992. Allen, who has repeatedly denied the allegations, wasn't charged following a 1993 probe by authorities in Connecticut. In 2016, Ronan famously penned a powerful piece for the Hollywood Reporter, calling out Allen's alleged strange behavior towards Dylan as a 7-year-old child and insisted that his sister's allegations were credible. He also accused the press of silencing victims while protecting powerful men. A phenomenon that is explored and exposed in his own journalistic work. I don't just pausing to, not saying there is a connection. It's just interesting, right? A lot of stuff with this case is just really interesting. Ronan's investigative reporting in 2017 helped reveal a horrifying 20-year history of misconduct and allegations made against Hollywood heavyweight Harvey Weinstein. Ronan Farrow's a big person in the Me Too movement. Massive role in the Me Too movement. For this groundbreaking reporting, Ronan won the Pulitzer Prize for Public Service. So there was a video of him with Taylor exiting the club. It's very quick. He says something like, "Have a good night," or "Good night, Taylor." And he's walking her to her car. And it's interesting because if you look at TikTok, everyone's talking about there's got to be something going down. I'll show you guys. Now, there wasn't anyone that was saying there's something weird brewing. It's Taylor and Blake planning to take down Justin Baldoni. But over and over on TikTok, a lot of the headlines were something weird is brewing.
Hey lovers, something very weird is brewing. Remember how I did 2 videos on Ronan Farrow and how he was spotted with Taylor Swift, Taylor's first outing since the election? Well, mere days later, also real quick in regards to Ronan Farrow and Taylor Swift, because there was a lot of confusion under my videos. I think people thought I was trying to say they were romantically involved. No, Ronan Farrow is gay. He is friends with Taylor Swift. They have been friends for a long time. However, they've never been photographed in public until this time. Also, Ronan Farrow has nothing to do with Taylor's song Ronan. Our favorite investigative journalist, Ronan Farrow.
Okay, so then they get into potentially, and what the idea was at the time was maybe it was a political meeting and she was having something to do with a political meeting with Ronan Farrow. But this is someone that was heavily involved in the Me Too movement. And really, who would have guessed that there was something going on with Blake? And the interesting thing for me, something I say about Taylor all the time, or even just high profile individuals, is you don't see them unless they want to be seen. And so I always feel it's a statement that when you see powerful individuals that have a way to, like, they've been friends, but they never have been photographed in public together, when they're photographed in public together, just like how you kept seeing Taylor, Blake, and Ryan photographed in public together. All right. So on a post on Ronan Farrow's Instagram, someone had said, "Why? I've been such a fan of yours, but taking down Justin Baldoni, so disappointing." To which Ronan Farrow had said, "No, I don't write for the New York Times and have nothing to do with their coverage of this case." Or sorry, yeah, I don't write for the New York Times and have nothing to do with their coverage of this case, even informally or behind the scenes. I write for the New Yorker. Sorry, I think I called it the New York Post previously. There's too many New York magazines. I don't write for the New York Times and have nothing to do with their coverage of that case, even informally or behind the scenes. I write for the New Yorker, a completely different outlet. And if I ever were to look into this, you'd see my work there. There's a lot of disinformation out there. Please always try to think independently and check what you're hearing online. And it does always bug me when people kind of give a roundabout answer and ask you to think independently. People are thinking independently, and that's why people are questioning. It seems odd, the timing, and that is why people were questioning it. And I just feel it's a little bit of gaslighting when people are questioning things and thinking critically, and then they're told to think critically and to question things. He says, he goes on with, my practice is to not give oxygen to attacks that are a complete fabrication being pushed in bad faith. But since you engage thoughtfully, what you describe as so many connections is me being seen at drinks with an old friend with whom I've never discussed this matter. I've been on the receiving end of many attack campaigns like this. And when the level of disregard for the facts is this intense, claims about me being the most powerful journalist at an outlet with which I have no contact or the architect of a story I've not touched, my experience is often that those who have brought in are already so uncritically eager for easy outlet for outrage that they have little interest in factual correctives. I think, the sad thing is, this is just my opinion, but if no one was questioning things and we just took everything at face value, we would have taken Blake at face value. So again, I'm just not a huge fan of the response. I'm not saying that means he's involved or not. I just am not a huge fan of the response. But for what it's worth, even the ideological framework animating this one is suspect. I'm a nonpartisan journalist, not an activist. Am I reporting on sex crimes? A narrow band of my work has been about serious cases of violent misconduct or systemic cover-ups. But that's, it's interesting. He's downplaying his work within that, because that's him exposing the Me Too movement and speaking out against his own father is kind of big, I would imagine. My work has dismantled power structures, often liberal ones, in, for example, Hollywood. But this is never what motivates me. I look at the facts. You can criticize the work, but AIM is not about culture war. It's about scoops that hopefully reveal something useful about the world. Based on our handful of interactions over the years, I understand Tui to be similarly motivated, though I have not read her reporting on Baldoni and can't speak to that. I do wonder, people that are winning Pulitzer Prizes, I just have a hard time believing they don't know each other and don't talk at all and I just have a hard time believing that people at this level, I just have a hard time. So based on our handful of interactions over the years, I understand Tui to be similarly motivated. I'll happily investigate Lively or Baldoni if I uncover a dimension of the story that reveals something newsworthy enough about the systems at play. I think there's a lot to uncover about the systems at play here. But any investigation about Hollywood celebrities would have to feel very urgent for me to take it on now, given the current acute need for national security reporting, a media and social media landscape that privileges outrage, sensationalism, and reductive thinking, coupled with a lack of fact-checking mechanisms, have sadly accelerated this dynamic of disinformation sowing division. It is a frightening time for many of us, and I hope we can all do our part to channel that into thoughtful questioning and fact-seeking rather than blindly enraged factionalism. And he says, thank you for someone engaging nice. He says, I appreciate that. All of us striving to have the humility and thoughtfulness to self-question and catch when we got something wrong rather than digging in is a big part of the solution and unfortunately rare. He also responds to someone else and says, no, I've never reported for the Times. Unfortunately, you're misinformed about how journalism and journalistic awards work. Separate publications that do separate impactful reporting on a story without contact with each other often share awards. I have nothing but respect for the reporters at the Times and I'm grateful to compete with them on occasion. I've never had any contact with them in this matter. So that was his statement. That's his statement. Let's move on to the next. The next news, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds will not be attending the 2025 Met Gala, exclusive sources say. The couple last appeared at the event as co-chairs in 2022. Now, we're also going to watch a reel from Elsie. I have some good news about that as well. We'll do that in a minute, though. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds will not be attending the 2025 Met Gala. An exclusive source confirmed the news to People, sharing Blake and Ryan haven't gone since 2022 when they were co-chairs, and they will not be in attendance this year. TMZ was the first to report. What I want to say about this is Blake Lively is under a massive rebrand right now. We've talked about this. Blake Lively is going through like an Every Woman rebrand. She was the ruler, which you can see here, royalty, even how she presents herself, how she stands, her makeup, her jewels, how everything. She was the Met Gala princess. Princesses are the ruler and brand archetypes. And she's rebranding right now into the Every Woman. It wouldn't be intelligent for her to go and be the ruler at the Met Gala because it's going to just keep bringing you back to the thought process of her as the ruler, her as the elite is very much the ruler archetype. Even if, which I don't believe they were invited, but even if they were invited to the Met Gala, I don't think they would have gone. And it has nothing to do with bad press because you can tell people not to ask the questions. They can go and just smile for cameras and look beautiful in beautiful gowns and jewels. It's because of the rebrand and my belief and being PR or not PR, branding and marketing and being in those fields for so long and understanding this. If you're going through a rebrand, you're just going to keep reminding people of who you were. And she's trying to do the I'm a mom just like you, right? She's got the Instagram stories and posts about wearing bags on her feet so her kids can have her shoes, even though I swear she's like 5'11", her kids are young. I don't know. I don't know how you walk with bags on your feet either, but you know, that's what she said she was doing. So she's doing that. A lot of pictures with little to no makeup on, in sweats, casual clothes, baking cookies. The news cycle is filled with her baking cookies, going to horseback riding lessons with her kids. It's the mom. It's I'm just like you. And going to the Met Gala would disrupt that image. It would disrupt the rebrand that she's trying to create. So it would have actually been a really bad decision, even if she was invited, to go to the Met Gala when she's in the middle of a rebrand. Now, let's swing over to Elsie because she also points out something really good. All right. Now, who doesn't love Elsie? She is amazing. We talk about her all the time here. She is just a hoot. I laugh watching her content. I look to hers probably first to get updates on the cases. She's always on top of it. And I have amazing news for you guys. She's going to be here. We are going to be live. It is Tuesday. I believe, oh gosh, off the top of my head, I believe 11 a.m. Eastern Tuesday. Oh, yes. The Elsie is going to be here with us in this community. So expect that Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I will double check and confirm, but I believe it's 11 a.m. Eastern. You're not going to want to miss this. She is so much fun. Absolutely adore her. You know, to see her blow up, I originally was following her when I think she had 2,000 people following her on Instagram, and it's so well deserved. Like, you guys are making the right person go viral. Okay, but I want to bring this up. She talks about the Met Gala.
Definitely uninvited from the Met Gala, and a Wintour ain't got time to play these games. Not TMZ still carrying water for these two. A source close to the couple tells TMZ Blake and Ryan are skipping the Met Gala. Before you jump to conclusions, it's got nothing to do with the illegal battle against Justin Baldoni. Okay, and today's not Friday, and I'm not wearing a black shirt. What are we doing? But she and Ryan don't always show up, and they actually skipped last year too. Blake was very busy last year doing something else, and that's why she didn't make the Met Gala. Do you want to guess? Don't guess. I'll tell you. But I want to bring your attention to page 76 of 168 of the amended complaint. So what was Blake doing last year instead of being at the Met Gala? You guessed it. Too busy hijacking Justin Baldoni's film, because May 3rd to May 8th, we are confirmed she was definitely in the editing bay trying to give us her cut of It Ends With Us. So tell me how she was going to make the Met Gala from California, because it was being edited on Sony studio lots in Culver City, California. Considering the Met Gala was on May 6, 2024, and the Met Gala is held in New York. As rich and as wealthy as Blake and Ryan were, she was not about to spend money on a private jet to leave LA and leave the editing bay to make the Met Gala when she really didn't have any more time to waste, because she had to turn this movie over to them as early as May 8th, and she still didn't do that and didn't turn it over till May 10th. Through May 10th, which was supposed to be the final day that she's approved to be editing the film, Lively refuses to turn over the cut. So while TMZ will have you believing they skipped last year, so them skipping this year means nothing, Blake was too busy hijacking this man's movie. Maybe had she not done that and just went to the Met Gala like she was supposed to, she wouldn't be in this mess. But no, they're not passing on the Met Gala this year. They are not invited. Let's be for real. You're welcome. Blake Lively.
Oh my gosh. And how did I do that little thumbs down thing on my video screen? That was weird. But yes, I believe that they were uninvited. And like I said, if they even were, it would have been a horrible brand move. But I love what Elsie says and points out, like, there's no way she could have gone last year. She was focused on something else. And I really believe that was also the brand evolution she wanted. I don't see Blake as having been happy just being the Met Gala darling and the fashionista. I really believe she wanted more power. And It Ends With Us was a way for her to get that. While we're here, let's also see what Elsie has to say about Justin Baldoni's PR rep files suit against ex-boss in Blake Lively legal drama. There are so many legal filings. We're not going to be able to get to it, guys. But I know everyone else has got you with those, so I'm not too worried about it.
Justin Baldoni's PR rep filed suit against ex-boss in Blake Lively drama. And to that I say, it's about damn time. If we're being for real, this shit all began when Stephanie Jones got Jen to show up to the office, ambushed her with the IT person and the business manager, and Stephanie Jones took Jennifer's phone and then took out all her personal messages between her and Melissa Nathan, her and Justin, her and everybody. And then she pretty much went and sold or gave that information, whatever, for free to Blake Lively. Friedman tells TMZ it is undeniable that Stephanie Jones initiated this catastrophic sequence of events by violating the most basic of privacy rights. Friedman says Stephanie is no stranger to stirring up crisis scenarios for departing clients, accusing her of maliciously turning over communications from the phone she wrongfully took from her own partner to her cohorts, Leslie Sloan, immediately after Jones was terminated for cause by Wayfair due to her own wrongful behavior. If you guys read the amended complaint, or even if you didn't, I'm here to tell you. Jen told Stephanie before this all began, she was gonna leave the firm, Stephanie's firm, because she was like, I don't like how you do things. I've been here long enough, like I'm ready to go. And Steph pretty much was like, you better leave me, like how nobody leaves me type energy, right? Keep in mind, even though Jennifer Abel is Justin's PR manager, Jennifer works for Stephanie's firm. So technically, at the end of the day, Stephanie is Justin's PR firm. but Jennifer was Justin's direct contact person. So she gave her proper notice that she was going to leave. And their text messages showing Stephanie pretty much telling Jen, like, who the fuck you to think you can leave me type energy. So if I'm Jen, I kind of blame Jen a little bit in the sense that if I roll up to the office and you got some random person sitting there looking through my phone for stuff, first of all, I'm not handing the phone over, number one. Second of all, I'm not signing stuff that says I'm signed here, give me your phone. I'm leaving. Talk to my lawyer first. But at that point, she did not know what was about to happen. She didn't know the events that were about to be triggered. So Jennifer gave up the phone and walked off. She says, I'm washing my hands. I want nothing to do with you. Not knowing Stephanie had bigger plans. And I'm surprised this suit didn't come way earlier because this was the most obvious one to me. Nonetheless, it's here. I'm thankful for it. And shout out to Be Free because this man, whatever they're paying you, you deserve that in some. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this lady caught herself in the comments. What's her name? Patty, the matchmaking lady? She caught herself in the comments talking about what a joke. She's the one that texted we can take Blake down. It will cost $25K. And I let her know, girl, bye. We know you're on payroll. Just
she kills me. I cannot wait to have her here with you guys. If you don't know her yet, Elsie's just amazing.